Welcome everybody to today's CKA Lab for Kubernetes Certification. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that because it helps me with YouTube's algorithm. All right, so in today's lab, we're going to create a couple of namespaces and then we're going to create a couple of services. And then from one namespace, we're going to try and see if we can look up the DNS names of a service on the same namespace and on the different one. All right, so let's get started. I have access to a Minikube cluster on my own computer. And now if I do, we're going to create two namespaces. K is short for Kubernetes, not Kubernetes, kubectl. K create namespace A. K create namespace B. Looks like already exists. K get ns. I see. Okay, I already created them a long time ago. All right. So anyways, we have the two namespaces. The next step of the requirement is to create a service called A in namespace A. Okay, get. All right. So to create a service, we do K create svc minus H to get some examples, different types. All right. So because Minikube, we're just going to stick with cluster IP. This H. Now we should get some examples. All right, so it's not the best example, but okay, it'll work for our purposes. So K create, first of all, I'm going to do minus NA, that means namespace A, create service, short form is SVC, let's just call it A, and then service cluster IP, we have to put in the type, name is A, and these ports don't matter for our purposes. All right, so now if we do kget svc in namespace A, we see the namespace exists. If I describe it, I wonder if I get the DNS name or not. K describe svc A in namespace A. Da 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 da. It doesn't give me the DNS name, but I believe it's just going to be A. All right, so that was the first service. Now we're going to do this. We're going to create service B in namespace B. Alrighty. Same exact command, just replace A with B. Now if we do kget svc minus namespace B, there's the namespace. Let's look at the requirements again and see what we have to do next. With all that, now we're going to create a busybox pod in namespace A and shell into it. Now busybox dies because it doesn't really do anything, so we'll have to give it a sleep command or something so that it stays alive. All right. Okay. Let's create a busybox. So we're going to do krun minus h to get examples of creating pods. Namely, we want a pod that runs the sleep command in namespace A. All right, so here is an example with something that gives us a command that runs on the container. In our case, it's sleep because that's one way to keep the pod running. K run busybox image equals busybox. The first busybox with just the name, this is the image command. Actually, before I do all that, I have to put minus n a. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the name to a to make life easy. So it matches up with namespace. Minus and A for namespace A. Now we can give it a command, -- command, and then arguments. In this case, sleep, let's just say 3600, so it runs for an hour. That should do the trick. Now if we do kget pod in namespace A, there's the busybox pod that's running. Now we need to figure out how to shell into it. I believe it's kexec is the command. I wonder if there's an example for this. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's, we can exec into da 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 da. That's the one we want. This is the example of shelling into a pod. So k exec pod's name, remember, first of all, namespace A, so I don't forget that. And then the name of the pod is A. Remember, we gave that name to make life easy for us. Container name is -c. This, you only need this -c if there's multiple containers, so I don't need that. -i, -t, and I don't know if busybox has bash. If it doesn't, it's going to fail. In that case, we'll just do a shell, normal shell. Yeah, file not found. That means bash doesn't exist on busybox, so we're just going to do normal shell. Now I'm actually in the pod, all right? So does it have nslookup installed? Oh, good. So now if I do nslookup A, it should resolve because service A is in the same namespace as this pod. Does it? Address is this, server, and this, there you go. So this server is this is the DNS server, and the port on that server is 53. It looked up a.a.that, and the address is this. So if the first A is for the name of the service, and then second A is the name of the namespace. So I should be able to do, I should not be able to do nslookup B because it's in a different namespace. Yeah, see, it can't find anything. However, I should be able to do nslookup b.b and that, because in this case I'm giving it a full name. Full name will include the name and the namespace name, which is B, and that should be resolvable. And there it is. Server is this, that didn't change, and it found a DNS entry called b.b. Again, the first B is the name of the service, second B is the name of the namespace, and if it's a service, it's just sbc.cluster.local. So as you can see, you can look up the DNS name from any namespace pod as long as you give it the full name, including the namespace, if it's in a different namespace. Otherwise, you can just simply give it the name of the service. All right, let me get out of this pod. Let's look at the requirement one more time. We did that. We created the pod, shell into it, and we did nslookup, and there are the tips. All right. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.